Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of reviewing WandaVision. I guess that's what I'm calling this series.
This is
This
episode
week,
2.
this is episode 2, and Matt's joining me to review episode 3. So Matt, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for having me on. I'm
Of
excited to talk
course.
about episode 3. I'm still confused, but we'll try to talk about it.
So before we hop into this, Matt, what are your thoughts on the first two episodes? Since you couldn't be here last week, like what's your consensus on the show so far?
I think like many, I'm confused. I kind of understand now after this
Hmm.
episode what's going on a little bit better, but those first 2 episodes were very confusing, very fun. I loved the vibe. I loved like that old-timey vibe it gave off. The aspect ratio, the way it was filmed, all of that was great. But it's confusing. It's
Yeah.
confusing. But I definitely did enjoy it.
See that's kind of how I was. Like I overall I really enjoyed the show. Like I'm glad they kind of just took a head first like dive into the whole sitcom concept and they really continue it here. Obviously it starts to break a bit in this third episode, but
Yeah.
go first. What you think of episode 3?
Episode 3 was a little more understanding of what's going on, mostly
Mhm.
towards the end. But I did really enjoy it. It's the first time, well, not first time, but it was the first time like it was in full color, and it was kind of nice to see color, even though I did like the whole black and white vibe. Um, and I like the story of her about to give birth, even though like it went through like a day, basically her being pregnant. It was only
Yeah.
like a day. It was weird. It was weird, but it was fun. It was what I expected in a way, but also at the same time nothing is what I expect. So, um, basically, the ending just shocked me the most. I mean, we'll
Right?
get to that at the end, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought it was fun. It was definitely in line with episodes 1 and 2.
I think the biggest thing, because I actually sat down and watched the episode again just before we recorded this. Why did Vision think the pregnancy, like the due date was 3 days away when somehow she went through 6 months of pregnancy in literally 12 hours?
Well, I think he ran the numbers in his head, but
But
he was wrong.
you know what? You know what though? It makes sense. He was running the numbers, but he was also freaking out because he's gonna have kids. So
Mhm.
like his brain was not all there. So, but I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, why did he think it was gonna be Friday? Like, it's obvious it's happening in like 2 hours because I mean, dude, she's already 4 months pregnant, and now
I
she's already
know.
6 months pregnant. Like, oh my god! But it was such a sitcom thing. Like, dude, okay, Elizabeth Olsen in this episode, holy shit. She did such a good job for like the vibe of the era. Like
Yeah.
it was very, very well done. One thing I noticed is when what's her name? Monica.
Je
What's her
Gene
name?
Genevieve?
Genevieve?
Genevieve something?
I'm gonna call her Monica because
Yeah, we'll just go with that. It's easier, we'll remember it.
so there's a point where she's in the house. She's telling the story to Wanda about her part-time side gig thing, and the stork makes noise and Monica snaps out of it for a second. She's like,
Mhm.
Did you hear that?" And I was like, "Wait a second." She actually like snapped out of this reality for a minute.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of been happening in each episode with like Dottie in episode 2. In episode 1 it happened with the couple.
Heart is it
Yeah,
Heart?
the hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like in every episode like so the reality's breaking for some character and it's just like what is going on? Like obviously like we've talked about this but like who's in control of this reality that they're in? It's Wanda, right? Like it has to be Wanda now. Like what do you think? Do you think it's her or do you think like it is something else still but she's like gaining more control of it?
I think see, I'm still confused. I think she is in control. I
Mhm.
think she's definitely in control, and we saw that at the end of the episode. But did she create it? I mean, that's see, I still have so many questions. and that's kind of where I am.
Mhm.
Um, but I think we definitely know from the ending that she is in somehow she can take control of whatever this reality is.
Yep. She is in more control of this than we thought she was. And I mean, dude, when Vision just starts questioning everything, it's like, Wanda, I think something's wrong. And she's like freaking out. And like, you look at her face and it's like, oh, she's freaking out because he's catching on to what's going on. So she just goes, reverse. No, we're not having this conversation. It's time to be happy. It's for the kids, it's for the children. Dude, this show, like I know they said Doctor Strange 2 is gonna be horror. Like that's the plans for it to be a horror film. We're getting hints of it here. We really are, it
Yeah, it's
feels.
like very, very thriller in a way, I guess you could say.
I love it. I love it so much. Cause I was like, maybe they'll go slightly horror in Doctor Strange, but here it's like getting to the point where I'm getting scared of Wanda. Like I'm actually getting scared of her. Like, who's she gonna throw out next?
I
Like,
mean, yeah, at the end, dude, she just seemed so crazed, and it was just a whole different Wanda that we only saw in Ultron, I think. And she was just so like into like not into her character, but into Wanda from Ultron, I guess you could say. And it
mm-hmm.
just it there was like this menacing feeling to her character at that ending. And I was just like, whoa, whoa, she this is not right. Something's going on, and just it's definitely weird.
What was your thoughts on when Monica brought up Quicksilver or Pietro? What was your reaction? Because I like went, oh shit, like you should not have said that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, don't bring him up, don't bring him up, and then Monica kept bringing him up, or he did. She only brought him up once,
She
but
brought him up once, but it snapped Wanda
it
out
kept
of it.
yeah, it kept going, and I was just like, oh, you messed up, you messed up. Yeah, I was just like, oh god, you just pissed Wanda off. That was my thought. I was like, you just made her mad. You did something you should not have done, and it was just like a oh wow moment, basically.
Ultron killed him, didn't he? What did you say? It's like the, oh, I fucked up. Yeah,
Now,
okay. Do not mention Ultron to Wanda. Take a
don't.
note.
I have a question. I don't know if I haven't gone back and looked. Was Monica always wearing the sword necklace that she was wearing at the end of episode 3?
I don't remember her wearing it. I remember looking for it in episode 2 because I remember they showed it in like the trailers, but I didn't see it. I feel like
Okay,
somewhere on her she probably had a little sword logo, but I don't know where.
okay. It was just something like I don't think I saw that before, so I don't know if she was always wearing it, but
Cause
maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know.
Agnes has always had that brooch on her with like that little symbol. Like she in the first episode it was like here, or it was here. Second episode it was on her jacket, and third it was on her bike, I think. Like
Roach?
she has like this little amulet on her, and it's in every episode so far. You can check it out, but it's interesting. Like people have theorized it's the devil and the two kids. So like people obviously it kind of hints more at the whole Mephisto thing happening, which has kind of been rumored for the longest time.
Oh, I do see it.
But yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah, she has something.
what do you think Herb was trying to say? We're
When he
all
was
we're all
trapped, I think. I don't know.
So that's what I'm thinking, like, is it trapped? Are they all trapped? But why would Herb know that?
Well, yeah, see, that's
Why
the
would
thing. It's
he
like
know it?
we're all pawns. I don't know really what he was trying to get to there.
I don't know, man. Like, I are they dead? Are they all dead?
I mean, they could be. I mean, Vision is dead, right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, supposedly. I I had a dark thought the other day of like what if the end of the show like Wanda snaps out of it and like she's been like puppeting Vision's dead body like around the house this
Oh
entire
god,
time.
no.
I'm just like Marvel would never do that, but God, that'd be horrific to see. Like just the lifeless, like grayed out Vision. God. But also, I feel like Vision has to be real now, right? Because he's very sentient.
Mm.
Like in the first episode, I thought, oh, maybe this isn't Vision. I don't think it's Vision. But now I do think it's Vision. I think it's actually him because he's kind of he's figuring it out. Because if he was in control, if he was being controlled by Wanda, he wouldn't probably be able to even figure it out. Like, I think she'd be able to control where he's at all times and not let him figure things out.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely figure out that something's going on. I think he'll definitely snap out of it, realize that, I'm not supposed to be here. I think that might come the Halloween episode from the trailer, I mean. It
I mean,
seems like that might.
yeah, I mean, even the end of this episode, like he was like, "Oh, I, I don't think he trusts Wanda at the end of the episode
Yeah,
because,
I don't.
like the doctor even he's like, I don't think I'm gonna go on a vacation anymore. Small towns they're hard to escape. It's like, okay, are they? So maybe that means they are held captive, and they all know it, but they're like, maybe that's it. Maybe they are brainwashed a bit, or like taken over, like their minds are being controlled. That's why they are able to snap out of it at some points. Like, dude, Herb freaking sawed right into the wall, the concrete wall, after
Yeah,
trimming the
he was
bushes.
not something was going on with him, and then they had him and Agnes were like talking. I don't remember if you remember the scene. You should. You just watched it. They're talking, and then Vision's like, "What are you guys talking about?" They're like, she doesn't have a house here." I'm like, "Oh shit!
Even
Oh
though she
shit!"
walked in the house saying, "Yeah, it was just raining in my house. Like I just need a
Yeah,
bucket." So it's like,
yeah. So you
wait.
realize shit's weird.
My question though is like, where's Monica been though? And like, have nights been happening, or is every day kind of rolling into the next? Is no one sleeping? Because at the end of
Well,
the
yeah.
episode, when Monica gets thrown out of this pocket reality or whatever they're in,
Hmm.
it's nighttime. It's daytime in that reality.
Yeah, but
Dude, it shouldn't be two different times of day in just literally that same city, but in like this little pocket.
I guess. But they had that one maybe episode 2 when they were in bed, Vision and Wanda. I don't know if they were actually sleeping, but
Yeah. I don't know, man. I really think it's the week it like most of the show probably takes place in like a week. Like I think Wanda entered this realm at some point. Everything happened and literally Sword's like what is going on and like day by day they're trying to get in there to get her out. But like Wanda's just kicking them out whenever they even pop up. Like the beekeeper dude, she immediately kicked him out of the reality. She's just like, no. Like, think if we see that dude get shot out from the sewers back into the Sword headquarters, like, oh, she doesn't want us there. But
yeah. I mean, even she changed. I don't know if she changed. I'm assuming. So Vision is talking to her, and then all of a sudden, it like goes backwards for a second,
did
and it glitches back.
did you
Was I the only one
rewind?
who? Yeah, I thought it was
Okay,
my
no,
like
I rewound twice because I'm like,
same,
what? I'm like, wait, what
but
happened? I'm like,
he
did Disney
changes
Plus?
everything he said, right?
Yeah, like
So I'm
no,
just like, oh,
like he never questioned anything. So it's
yeah,
like,
no, yeah. I had to rewind twice. I was just like, wait, is it my Disney Plus or what's going on here? But no, it's part of the show. Part of the show.
so okay, I kind of have a theory about episode 4, and I feel like episode 4 is going to be a sword episode where we're going to see what's been happening on the outside for the first 3 episodes. So it's going to be like an hour, or it's going to be a longer episode where we kind of see everything that's been going on. but I think we're gonna see Quicksilver. And I think it was triggered by that moment of Monica being like, he died. He was killed. And Wanda's gonna be like,
Yeah.
no, he's not dead. I'll just bring him back too. I don't think she's gonna bring
Mm.
him back. I think this is gonna be the first step to the multiverse. She's gonna pull in the X-Men Quicksilver. We're gonna see Evan Peters Quicksilver being pulled in to this reality. He's just gonna think he's her brother when he is obviously not her brother. And I think that's gonna be the
Um,
first step of the multiverse.
Spoiler alert.
So
He's on the casting list, so
yeah. So like it's been rumored maybe he was gonna be Mephisto, but it's like he's been on the casting list. He's been rumored to be in this cast. So I've always been like, no, he's not gonna be Quicksilver. But then I remembered we're about to be in a multiverse of madness, so I wouldn't doubt that we could see him being pulled in as Quicksilver. I'm just
it
saying,
can happen.
like if Wanda goes like and tries to bring her brother back, but she can't because she can't revive someone who's dead. Like that might be the one thing of like them being Marvel being like, you can't revive someone who's dead. You can't do that. But you can rip them out of another reality.
Yeah.
And I think the X-Men films with Quicksilver take place in the 80s.
Days of Future. Oh wait, yeah, yeah. Around that time point.
So
Oh
what's the
wait, no,
next
JF no, it was the JFK assassination. So was that
was it?
70s?
Was it?
60 what I don't know, 65, 70. So I
But
think
anyway,
maybe I'm wrong. Shit.
the next time period we're hitting is the 80s.
Okay, I
So
might be
I'm
wrong.
just
Never mind.
saying, so I'm just saying if he gets pulled in during the time period that he technically exists in the X-Men universe, he's going to fit right in because that's his time period.
Yeah.
I
I say
mean,
I might be wrong on the whole JFK assassination. Someone gets assassinated in Days of Future Past, but
yeah, no, I
I
remember
don't know
that.
who it is.
But
Um, that would make sense. That makes sense. Have a feeling Ultron's still returning at some point. Voice, whatever it may be, he's coming
someone
back.
someone wants the
It's a
actor to
commercial.
pop up. Someone wants the actor to pop up, Robert California to pop up in a commercial and
I
just
think it might be. I
present like
think
a
that's
little
the way.
Siri device.
I think that's the way they'd introduce it, or tease him is the commercial. I think that's the proper way to bring back that voice or
Yeah,
actor, however they do it. The commercial, because I'm loving these commercials. They're great. They're
Hydra
interesting.
soak.
Hydra is all over it, but I like it.
Oh yeah, so what do you think the Hydra soak means? Because I feel like people are torn on this. People, uh, say what you think it is first.
I was thinking like how they had like the freeze chambers,
Hmm.
maybe like that Hydra soak, like the liquid they freeze the super soldiers with.
See,
I
like,
I don't know. I honestly I didn't think into it too much. I was just like, oh, awesome Hydra soak, cool.
cause like the thing people are saying is like, oh, it's like, oh, let all your like issues go away, like forget everything. For like, oh, it means it's straight up a connection to WandaVision, her being in this reality. I'm like, it kind of reminds me more of when she got her powers, because they're like, you could be powerful, you can be a powerful person, and I'm like, well, that might be Hydra convincing her to become this powerful being by being exposed to the Mind Stone. Like, I feel like that's where the hint is at. Like,
Yeah.
this is referring to Wanda and Pietro getting their powers from Hydra and like
Mhm.
kind of being brainwashed by them a bit to hate the Avengers. Like,
Yeah, being told you could do something if you,
hmm,
buy into this one product.
yeah. So I think the next commercial is going to be Ultron then. Dude, what if it is Pietro being killed in the commercial or some reference to his death in the commercial?
Hey, I mean, it might happen. It might. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited for the commercial. That's what I look forward to at times.
It's
Yes,
just a
the episode, but
nice
the commercials are great.
commercials. It's like going to the movies and being excited for the movie trailers. Like, what are we gonna see? uh, but is there anything else you want to touch on that happened in episode 3? I feel like we've kind of covered everything. I mean, is there anything we're missing?
No, probably, but
We're
I feel
probably
like
missing something.
we're at that point where we're still trying to figure this out. So
I mean, we've only gotten this much of the freaking story. Like
we,
the entire thing's still there.
my mic was muted. I said we probably still what 6 episodes, 6 more episodes.
We have
So
six
yeah,
more episodes.
we got a ways to go. So we're just as confused as a lot of you. So shit happened.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say I really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys did too. If you did, let us know down in the comments below what you thought. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you liking the show at all so far? Is sitcoms your thing? Like, what do you hope happens? Do you think Quicksilver is coming back? Let us know. Of course, hit that like button. Go down the description. Go see Matt's channel. He does a bunch of anime reviews and stuff over there. He's talking about Legend of Korra right now. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
hopefully Matt will go and be on the next episode with us next week to talk about episode 4, whatever that's going to be about. But hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.